Mandate freedom, ladies and gentlemen. We got to do it, especially in America. We are the leaders of freedom, and that's what this channel's called, Jerry Loves Freedom. We have to mandate it, ladies and gentlemen. We have to. It's a must. What's up, guys? It is Friday, December 27th, 2024. We're at the Bitcoin block height of 876,693. TikTok next block. I hope you guys are doing well. Speaking of Friday, we just did the Bitcoin Amigos show a few hours ago, the live show. Me, Jor, and Chris. Good show, 2.5 hours, and me and Jor had a little debate. So go ahead over there and check it out. First time we disagreed on something, and we kind of went back and forth, so it was pretty cool. Other than that, we agreed, and it was a good show, but we on a specific subject, we definitely went back and forth. So go ahead and show some love. Go over there to the Bitcoin Amigos channel. Anyways, I wanted to talk to you guys about the big controversy going on with MAGA, with the H-1B visas. For those of you that don't know, Vivek Ramaswamy and Elon Musk are on one side, kind of like the tech boys or whatever, versus the hardliners on the other MAGA side, the old school conservatives, I guess. I don't know. America First conservatives. Everybody's America First on MAGA. And this is a good debate, speaking of debate. And basically, Vivek said that we want H-1B visas. And for those of you that don't know, it's a visa, a temporary visa to let people come over here to America and work. And it's supposed to be the quote-unquote best of the best, but it's not. Because Vivek's argument was, he wanted the best engineers and the best this and that. And he actually used some 90s television shows, which was not a good example for him to do. He basically said, we're praising the jocks and the cheerleaders, but the nerds and the Screeches and the Steve Urkels of the world, we're not really praising them, and we're praising the people that shouldn't be praised, the jocks and the athletes and stuff. And I see his point, but the problem is, a lot of people took that the wrong way, because Generation X, my generation, that was a little bit after my time. Well, not after my time. I did watch a little bit of that show, Screech, and I did watch Steve Urkel. But a lot of Gen X's didn't like that, and Laura Loomer and Vivek was going at it. Go look on Twitter. I don't know if Laura Loomer is still up, because she got suspended for a little while, which, by the way, I don't like that. Now, I don't know exactly what she said, but I'm all about, again, freedom of speech. And I just, Laura Loomer is annoying as hell, but, you got to be able to argue. You got to be able to, be able to say what you want to say, even if you don't like it, especially if you don't like it. And Elon Musk is definitely a guy for free speech, but if he's stopping Laura Loomer, I don't know. I don't know the whole details on it. But this is what I like about this little arguing back and forth. This will never happen in the Democrat Party, right? You have to go one way or the highway. Democrats and the left and the machine and the apparatus are going to say, oh, MAGA's breaking up and blah, 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 and this, that, and the third. And, of course, they're going to use this to put a wedge between Trump and Elon. Now, Trump's old position, I think it was 2016 on the H-1B visa, was basically he didn't like it back then. Now, I don't know what it is now. He hasn't spoken up on it. But Vivek kind of changed his tune this morning. This was all last night. And then this morning he came out and basically said that the H-1B visa needs to be fixed, and it does. It's just, again, I'm America first, and I see both sides of the equation. What Vivek and Elon are saying is this, and again, these guys are big business guys. They want not cheaper labor, but they want the best for less. You know what I mean? Regardless of where it comes from. But there's a couple problems with that I'll get into in a second. But what Vivek is basically saying is, if we want America first, or America to be first, we have to hire the best. And what Laura Loomer and the other MAGA people are saying is that, why are we hiring overseas? We need to hire people here in America. And I could see both sides. I understand where they're coming from, because I want both. I want us to hire the best, but I also want it to be America first. The problem is our culture, man. We're lazy as hell. And I'm getting that in a minute when it comes to these government workers, man. It's just crazy. But the problem with the situation with the H-1B visas now is, and I'm not saying this to be racist or nothing like that, but 70% of them come from India. And you guys know that, and a lot of these jobs that Vivek was talking about with the, we want the best engineers and stuff like that. It ain't all engineers. It's a lot of jobs that other people in America could do again, but they won't do it for as cheap as people from India or something like that. And we all know, man, again, I'm not saying this to be racist. Obviously, I'm not a racist person, but you know, if English is not your first if English is not your first language, in my personal opinion, guys, you know, you guys know, man, it's just annoying sometimes. And, you know, again, I know if you're a big company, you know, a lot of companies I work for hire, you know, people that, you know, do that stuff, especially overseas. They do it over the phones and stuff, but the visas are temporary over here. And again, they get paid over, you know, at least $60,000. And again, these are not all, jobs, engineering jobs, you know? So that's where it's broken. And sometimes they're staying too long. Sometimes they're getting paid, you know, a lot less than America will get paid, and it's bringing down the value of Americans. But again, we need to change our culture here in America. We got to stop being lazy. And I want to segue this into the government job situation. We have millions of government jobs that shouldn't be there, guys. Okay, I understand people want to work from home. For those of you that don't know, Trump came out yesterday or a couple days ago and basically said, "Look, if you don't check into the office and come in the office, you're going to get fired." You know, and that's tough because the last 4 or 5 years, you know, people have been working home, especially, you know, with the scamdemic going on, and people are just not coming to work. And by the way, this goes for the politicians too, in my personal opinion. The politicians should be coming in to go to work because they barely work. They're always traveling, and all they're doing is just campaigning and raising money and trying to get elected again instead of actually doing their job. And they wait to the last minute to do their job. But anyways, President of the United States, 40% almost of his term, he's been on vacation. So I expect it from the top down, man, not just the government workers. But anyways, a lot of these government workers need to go to the private sector, man. We are paying these people. The government needs to run their operations like a business, meaning get rid of the money printer, cut out the fat, and say, look, are you going to go to work or not? And you're going to see who the lazy people are. I'm not saying that you shouldn't work at all, you know, off-site. You know, you can do it, you know, a couple times a month or something like that if you got to do something and all that. But again, there's nothing like being face-to-face and people in the office. Have you ever been to a business where there's nobody in there or working in there, there's nobody in there and stuff like that? It's just not cool. If you're working for the government, especially if we're paying for the leases of the building and paying for all the utilities and all this other stuff, people should be in the buildings. I'm sorry, but of course, now the government workers have unions and stuff like that. Again, when you see these bogus numbers they come out with, the government comes out with, well, look at all the jobs. They're all government jobs. And what's that mean when they go to the private sector? I guarantee you this. I guarantee you, because I think Elon Musk is going to cut about 2 million workers. That's what he says. And also $2 trillion off the spending. I guarantee you that these people that have the government jobs that are going to lose their jobs, they're going to get a severance pay and stuff for like a year or something like that. They're not going to get screwed over. It's not their fault, you know. But again, you're going to see how kind of useless to the market they are. Because again, when you're just sitting at home, and this doesn't go for all government workers. I'm just saying, for some of them, I think they should bridge the gap and say, well, look, man, you know, instead of being a useless government worker, again, not all of them, staying at home, you know, instead of doing the H-1B visas, you know, we need to up our game up. And maybe some of these government workers that are supposed to be great and all this other stuff, let them do some of these jobs, man. You know, and pay people a fair wage. And again, I know in a private business, they want to get more for less and not less for more, aka a lazy American that just sits at home. I understand that from both sides, all three sides, actually. Vivek's side, which is the other side too, the business side, the America first, and then the business side. I get it. But the government needs to be held accountable just like a business. If a business doesn't, if a business is not profitable, they get shut down if it's not profitable. But the problem with the government is they just print money. That's it. You know, so they always get out of it. So it's just a vicious circle, guys. I want you guys to start paying attention to what's going on with the government. I'm going to start making videos in January. I want to do a live every day, maybe from 3 to 5 my time, 6 to 8 Eastern, where I just cover stuff like Bitcoin in the beginning, then cover some government stuff, because we need to understand what's going on and just all this nonsense, man. You know, the Department of Government Efficiency I want to talk about. I want to talk about the border. I want to talk about a bunch of stuff, man, because we need to know these things and we're going to learn it together. you know, and it's crazy when you start pulling back the curtains and then you see the, you know, the H-1B visas, you know, and again, Vivek made a good point, but again, they're not all engineers, man. And we know how it is when English is your second language. It's just crazy. So again, I'm America first. I want us to thrive, but I don't want us to thrive under Indian rule, right? I don't want a bunch of people or any, and the only reason I'm saying Indians, guys, not be racist again, but 70% of the visas are people from India. And you think that's not done on purpose? So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Enlighten me on the H-1B visas. Tell me about the government situation and the jobs and everything. Let me know what you guys think, all right? But despite all that nonsense, even people in India, China, Russia, America, wherever, you can use this money I'm getting ready to talk about. You can save in it. It's a great store of value. It's a, what did Michael Saylor say? We talked about this thing. Digital capital, right? Not a currency yet, a digital capital, but working its way there. And we can pay off our debt, the national debt. You can save for the future, and you can stop inflation with this money. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, go watch the Bitcoin Amigos. Stay tuned for Satoshi Saturday. But until then, here's the hint. It's the best way to save. And for me, the only way to save. And that's Bitcoin. I love each and every one of you, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace and love, guys.